Steve.
Hey YouTube, Cinny Steve back with another video, and today we are looking at my favourite game probably of all time, definitely on the Amiga, and it's Sensible Soccer, or Sensible World of Soccer. I thought I wanted to dedicate a whole video to this because I've got a lot of sort of little bits to show, and I say it's my favourite game, so it deserves its own video. That's how good it is. Little shout out goes to a guy on one of the Amiga Facebook groups, Walter. He's put the new Sensible World of Soccer 2020 on ADF files, so you can just load it straight from the GoTech. Pretty cool, to be fair. Really good game. I mean, fair play to the guys that have sort of made this. I know it was quite a long time in the making, but it's awesome. Plays absolutely brilliant. It's harder as well. It's harder than the original. No, really enjoying it. Let's see how my beloved Villa get on against Everton. Because another shout out goes to Eddie Sneak Freak. Got me this lovely t-shirt. I thought it was just fitting to do this video in. I'm going to be hooked watching now, aren't I? Anyway, let's start off with the first ever Sensible Soccer, I believe. I say, pick me up if I'm wrong about any little details of this game. I believe this is the first release, Sensible Soccer. I was obsessed with it. I had a copy of it back in the day. Didn't have the original Sensible Soccer. Awesome. Absolutely love that game. Fantastic. And then they did a rehash of it. Obviously updated players. And I believe this was the first one that had yellow cards as well, yellow and red cards. And I'm not sure as well, I know one of the releases was the first it might even be the next one, but the passback rule came into it. I've got a few different variation of discs in here. Again, each time I see discs, like original discs, I'll usually keep a hold of them if they're sort of spare. But I know these came in a bundle not too long ago. I hadn't seen those because they usually look like that. So yeah, the ones that are actually printed on the disc I'd never actually seen before. The other ones I'd seen loads. Let's have a look at these discs. Yeah, again, stickers again. Seen hundreds look like that, but I've never seen them printed on the discs. So again, I don't know if they're actually meant for that release. I mean, it says 92, 93 on there. Let's line these up all nice. Then came the limited edition World Champions featuring World Cup teams. Again, I'm not sure if the gameplay had anything different. And again, I've got a couple of different variations of discs. So sad, honestly. But I've got ones with stickers on, and one's printed. Again, I've obviously picked them up from somewhere and kept hold of them. And this one as well has a, what does it have? I'm sure it's some sort of like World Cup wall chart, if I can get in it. Yeah, so that's the wall chart that comes with it. I do love having little things like this in there. But absolutely gutted. This was the USA World Cup where England wasn't actually in it. So that would have been sort of 94, or leading up to 94. And then came a fantastic Sensible World of Soccer. What a game this was. Unbelievable game. So I think all my Sensible World of Soccer games, or Sensible Soccer games, all in pretty good nick. Been collecting them for years. And I actually picked up a big bundle of Sensible Soccer games from, it was somebody that claimed there's been a goal. It's the 1-0 down. Gutting. Yeah, I picked up a bundle of Amiga games along with, there was it was either an A500 and an A600 as well as an A1200, and I think there was about 7 Sensible Soccer games in there. I'll put a little picture. I know I've still got a screenshot of the picture somewhere. And the guy, when I picked it all up, the guy claimed he worked for Sensible Software at some point. I can't remember his name. It was over in Harlow way. I remember it was over near where Brian lives. And yeah, so I had a good chat with him and picked up the stuff. It was quite cheap. I think it was about 250 quid. All the games weren't all in fantastic condition. But some of them were. I sort of swapped a few out, and there was a few I didn't have. But I always remember on the way home, the A1200. I undone the trapdoors. I didn't look too much into it. It said it was a sort of a stock 1200. But the guy, this what sort of confused me a little bit. The guy said he worked for Sensible Software at some point, but didn't seem to know much about anything he was selling. And yeah, there was like an accelerator card in the trapdoor to 1200, which I'm still using to this day on my 1200. I'm pleased as anything with it. But this is where one of the latest pickups I had, actually, because I'd never seen it before. I picked this up sometime this year, but I've never seen it with the sticker on it. Now, I know that original one had a few bugs in it, and I believe if you sort of complained to them, they'd send you the new and improved update disc. And I know that I'll show them a bit later, but I know a few came with magazines as well. But I've never seen this one with sort of new and improved already written on there. And I imagine it would have been quite popular. I mean, obviously the original one was getting a few complaints, and this one was sort of taking the bugs out of it. And this is actually the worst condition box of the whole lot. So I would look to get an upgrade on that one. I've just never seen it before. It's obviously the same box, but with the new and improved sticker on it. But then again, I mean, saying that, obviously 95, 96 wouldn't have come out too long afterwards. So maybe this is a bit sort of a rarer version, because it probably would have been coming out a bit later. And I can't remember. I don't know what bugs was in the original. Again, if anyone knows, let us know down in the comments below. These ones, I've only got one version of those discs, and they're stickered. And then moving on to this is 95-96. This is the European Championship edition, which again, I'm not sure if there was much different in the gameplay. Obviously the discs are different, manuals are different. Maybe it's just got the actual European Championship draw in it, so all the right groups. Maybe I should have done a little bit more research. But I know, I'm sure it says like 1.1 when you're loading it up. And then the daddy, Sensible Soccer, 96-97. This is the one I always play. I played it probably the most as a kid as well. Fantastic game, absolutely fantastic game. I've got a few backup discs in here as well, but absolutely love this game. And this was the version I took to Revival last year, and Stu Cambridge signed for me. I missed out on John Hare. I know he was doing a chat, but yeah, just completely missed him out. I was gutted, but hopefully I'll catch up with him on another event. So they're all the big boxed Amiga games I've got. I've actually got a few PC ones. I'm not going to show any of that. Obviously, this is an Amiga collection video. But sticking with obviously the Amiga collection, we've got the double jewel case, and this was an update disc. So you needed the original game, and I always remember getting the PC version when I was a kid, like begging my mum to get it for me when we was in Electronics Boutique, and you needed the original game to update it, which I didn't have on the PC. And to be honest, I don't even know really why I wanted it. I always preferred the Amiga version, so God knows why I was asking for it, but it's just a vague memory I've got. And then there's this obscurity. This is Swos World Cup 98 update. Now, it's obviously come, I believe it's come from CU Amiga. Yeah, CU Amiga magazine. It says CD-ROM 24, and it says Amiga CD32, C magazine for what's available and how to use the CD. Now, I have no idea what's on this CD because the CD is really scratched. I've picked it up from somewhere, and I'm guessing I'm not going to be able to pick up how scratched that CD is, but it doesn't actually work. But I have no idea. Does that update? Is it just like a demo? I mean, it says on there World Cup 98 update, so absolutely no idea. Unless is it a Swos update? Again, I couldn't find anything. I believe I haven't looked into it lately, but I'm sure I looked into it when I got it and couldn't really find anything about it. But then on to we're going back in time again now with the original Sensible Soccer, but this is the CD32 version. I wouldn't have played this that much. I have no idea what differences there are, if there are any. Obviously, Sensible Soccer's not particularly known for its soundtrack, really. I suppose Goal Scoring Superstar Hero is a bit of a classic song, but would that sound any better on a CD? I don't know. And it wouldn't have been on this one anyway. A bit of a crack in this one, but this is the rarer limited edition. I mean, it's not rare at all. It's always been readily available whenever I've looked for it. But yeah, a couple of again, I don't really know the difference. I'm guessing it's similar to these two. It probably is these two versions. So that would have been the World Cup 94 version. But again, absolutely no idea if there's any differences on the CD32. Should give them a go, really. But then going on to the demo discs. This is the only demo disc I've got of the original Sensible Soccer, and I know there's more, but I don't think there's as many for the original game as there is for Sensible World of Soccer. Although saying that, there's quite a few cool sort of fun games from the original game. This is the Bulldog Blighty ones. I'll put some screenshots or some gameplay footage. But I remember back in the day I always used to call this Sensible Soccer Bombs because we just had a copy of it and somebody had written Sensible Soccer Bombs on it, and you're running around playing with a grenade that could sort of blow up your players. Cool little demo. And then you had Sensible Moon. This was like the Moon Soccer version. So you had all the craters and like weird gravity effects with the ball. But yeah, pretty cool. And I believe that game as well, you needed like a blank disc. You'd load it up, and it would you'd have to load it, like, copy it onto a blank CD. Blank floppy. And then we've got Unsensible Soccer, which is where you're playing as oranges and lemons or limes. Yeah, really strange, really strange. And I know when the ball has like a heavy bounce, it like drops bananas and you can trip over them. Mental. And then last of the fun ones is Cannon Soccer, which is more of a cannon fodder game than a Sensible Soccer game. You're blowing people up actually on the pitch. So there you go. 90 minutes. We ended up losing. Quite a few attempts, though. And then this last one, again, this doesn't work. And when I looked into Sensible Massacre, again, it looks a little bit like cannon fodder again, where you sort of blowing people up as they're coming down on a Sensible Soccer football pitch. Again, don't know too much about that one. And then these are the 4 Sensible World of Soccer demos I found from 4 different magazines. So you've got Amiga 1, or one Amiga, Amiga Computing, Amiga Power, and Amiga Format. And quite interesting thing I thought about it, like when you obviously load it up, they've all got their own sort of marketing on there, but they've all got sort of different variations of different teams you can be, which I thought was quite cool. And then last but not least, as I was saying earlier about the re-release to fix the bugs, the update, and There's two there. It was on two. Well, it might have been on more magazines, but they're the two magazines I've found it on. Amiga Action and one Amiga again. And I'm looking for a date. This one was May '95, which I would say is quite late. I mean, if that's 95, 96, I don't know when that came out, whether it was a bit later than that. Yeah, I'm not sure. But again, anyone that, if there's any sort of Sensible Soccer gurus watching, then by all means, pull me up on that in the comments. And then last but not least, I seem to sort of finish these videos with compilations. I could have saved this for something else, but I thought I'll just show a couple of the compilations I've got with Sensible Soccer on there as well. World Cup year '94, with Goal, Striker and Championship Manager '94. Really cool compilation actually. I mean, any compilation with Sensible Soccer and Championship Manager on it's good with me. But Goal is a really decent game as well. Striker, not so much. And then this one here, Help, which has got Desert Strike, Pushover, Humans, Road Rash and Cool Spot. I know it's on another compilation as well. It's award winners with Elite 2, which I'm surprised I haven't got because it's a really popular compilation. But that's about it. Again, anyone that sort of knows anything about Sensible, so any fun facts, get in the comments. I love learning about this sort of stuff. And as I say, it's my favourite game, so never get bored of hearing about it. Anyway, doesn't look like Villa's going to score in this video, so I'm going to leave it there. Until next time, YouTube, I'll see you soon.